Hello everyone, I'm going to ask that you please ignore how jittery I am right now. I don't eat sugar often and I just had 32 grams of it. So I'm still going to try and get through this as calmly and collectedly as possible, but it might be hard. So please excuse me. Anyway, today is the third day of my focus study plan. First day was Siggy. Yesterday was Ohi, vocab. And then today was Ikki, or reading. This was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be so much easier compared to Siggy because I don't write that often. I read a lot. So I was just like blown out of the water by how incredibly hard this was compared to previous days. Because what happened was I have been here for 9 days and I brought 5 to 10 art. I brought 13 pages worth of reading material articles, and then I brought a book. This is 136 pages, but if you don't count the blank pages for chapter endings, then it's 130 pages. And I also brought my Seoul Hangugo textbooks. But since I've been here for 9 days, I was already 130 pages into this one. I was 130 pages into this one, so I finished this within 20 to 30 minutes of my first passive hour. And I'm like, yeah. So I had run out of that. And then normally for active reading, I take an article that I can like interact with. So one of the paper articles back there, and I mark it up like so. Any word that I don't know is underlined in red, and any word that I don't know that pops up more than once or I feel like I've seen before and I really want to know, I then look up on Papago. Yeah, this isn't focusing very well. And then look up on Papago and I square it. I put it in a square. And then I write notes on the side with the word. And I write them just how I think will be best. I really wish that would focus, but it doesn't look like it's going to. No, okay. So, for example, there's pardar, which I have looked up multiple times, and so you can't see it very well. So right next to it, I wrote kebar, which is a related word, and they mean a similar thing. I think the nuance is different, but I haven't had the chance to look into that yet. Basically, if I think I'll remember it better, that's what I do. That's the only active reading thing that I have. So for the first hour, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to read an article and just get that out of the way. And that was okay. But then the second hour, I'm like, I don't want to do that for my second passive hour. So I ended up studying Hanja, which can fit in writing, vocab, and reading. So I just did that again. And then I'm just like, I still don't want to read more articles. I don't think that will help me a ton, just trying to cram articles in. So I decided not to do that, and I had to find different things to do. And then for passive, as I said, I got through this 30 minutes into the first passive hour, and so I'm like, okay, I'm going to read some internet articles now. And I did that, which was fun, because Naver has this really cool feature, and it's this little box with a list of articles, like the most popular for each genre. So there was like Sawe, there's like society, living, culture. There was more. Oh, opinion pieces. And then I was also on a kids article website, which I actually preferred to Naver. It was so much fun. I got to read, there was an opinion piece, and it had like the opinions. It had a short article, and then it had 3 to 4 opinions from kids, I think about 14 years old. And I'm like, this is really interesting. And it was a lot of, I understood most of it, but there were words that I was catching. And one of the things I like about that is if it's a word that they don't expect a kid to know, then they'll explain it in like parentheses in Korean. And if you've already watched my dictionary rabbit hole method, I love reading word descriptions. They're just so nice. So, yes. Oh yeah, was on so I did that in my passive hours, and then for 2 hours for passive, like these were some of my last passive hours that were related to reading. I looked up internet novels, right? Internet novels. And I kind of regret it because this was the most mentally straining. I've been here for 9 days and I've studied over 10 hours for each of those days. And the hardest it was in 1 hour of my passive today when I was reading an internet novel. I'm not quite sure what it was about. Like, I got what was going on, but it didn't seem to have much of a plot yet. The formatting of internet novels is horrid, and I really hated it. And I was reading it out loud until about halfway through, and I was starting to get stressed. So just 30 minutes more. I'm just going to keep doing this for 30 minutes. And I started reading in my head instead, which went a lot faster. But I learned that internet novel is not for me, and I should probably see if I can find a different format, because it might just be the format. I did pick up some words from it. Not that I can say now, but I know if I saw them again, I would understand them. So I did pick up some words from that, and it did sort of help me with my reading. Now, the final part of the day, which was probably my favorite part of this whole thing, was I decided that I was going to take the 36 TOPIK mock test. Wow, I just can't talk right now. And so my goal for TOPIK, or writing at least, or reading at least, is 70 points. I got 50, and that's 4 points up from last time. So I'm going to explain like the things I loved about this. So this took me 2 hours, and I say 2 hours because I spent 70 minutes on the test itself, and then I spent 50 minutes kind of going over the questions again. I didn't finish going over the questions, and I actually plan on doing that in a little bit, but basically, I made my own little bubble sheet basically, and the exclamation marks are, "You're confused, you might want to come back to this," right? The smiley face is just because I liked that question. And then the circle is because it is a graph and I might want to use it to practice a different writing test, right? Write a short essay. And then this is how I did. So 50 points out of 100 means I got 25 questions correctly. And see these red numbers? Those red numbers are the ones that I know that I guessed on. Okay? And most of those, actually all of those but one, I guessed on because I ran out of time. So the thing I absolutely loved about this is I finished the test. Last time I got so stressed that I'm just like I had 20 minutes left, but I was so stressed that I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I am done. And I just marked the last 6 questions as 4, and that was it. I did get 2 of those right, but like that's not an achievement. I was just done. But this time, because I had been reading all day, I was super comfortable with it now, and I got through the whole test. So there is that. And the second thing that I really loved about this is all 50 of those points, 48 out of 50. That means one question, all but one question, I got right. I didn't guess. They weren't, it wasn't just my random guesses. It was because I read the material and I understood it enough to get the right answer. Now I know for some of those I was a little bit, confused maybe, but it was normally, I understood the context enough to get down to 2 answers, and normally I'd be confused and I'm like, I feel like this one is more right. And I was right. So, well, actually sometimes I was wrong, and I'll show you that right here. So a little bit disappointing thing is there are 5 answers, 1, 5, 7, 11, 12, and 15. When I was going back through these, I'm like, I know what the answer is, because I reread it, and these were ones that I had already been somewhat sure on, but I couldn't quite get it, and I picked the wrong out of my 2 options. So I could have gotten 60 points if I had gone back and checked those again, but to be honest, I didn't really have the time, and I'll just have to work on that later. Tomorrow is going to be either another vocab day or a ditki day. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for bearing with my sugar-induced nervous self. Bye!